Now let's get something right. How many times have you tried to fix your slice? How many times have you tried a secret thing to try and fix your slice? Well, hopefully they have given you a bit of success in the past, but it's probably not giving you permanent success. Now for me, there is two things wrong with the slice. We lose golf balls and it doesn't go very far. We sort of have that category of aiming way off to the left, trying to get it back onto the fairway, or that one that starts straight and we're just waving it goodbye as it sails onto the next fairway. We want a bit of that straight feeling, right? I've got 5 simple things that you can try today that is ultimately a step-by-step guide to stopping slicing the golf ball. With too much cutting across it with an open face, we need a little bit of the opposite. Now, in order to fix your slice, we just have to understand a few things. We're trying to change our impact factors. These impact factors are, as you can see here. Let's imagine our club face was aiming to the right at target and we wanted to spin it and get our golf ball spinning in this direction, right? How would we do that? Well, our club would work this way. Very much travelling out to in with a face that's pointing to the right of our path and to the right of target, causing our ball to have this effect. Now, that's the first understanding there, and I think using that lie on the golf ball, you can see this, right? But what happens if we wanted a little bit of the opposite? We wanted to have that golf ball moving with a bit of this. Now, the reason why I've come towards you is a lot of us can make sense of this in this direction. We need a little bit more of this. So we need an into-out path with a face that's close to our path and hopefully just pointing a little bit right of our target line to get that beautiful little draw. So impact factors we're looking for: into-out path and a face that's slightly close to our path but pointing right of our target line, because that's how we hit a draw. These 5 steps are some things that are going to allow you to swing more into out, allow you to control that club face, and allow you to make something that's a little bit more repeatable. Now, I have to say, this is what winter golf is all about. By the way, how many of us actually play some form of winter league? Now, I know a lot of us are watching all over the world, but relative to your winter, do you play winter golf? Let's get in those comments. The first place I want to start with this is grip, because that's going to have a big thing on where this club face is going to point, right? So, glove off. This really does help. What are we looking for? So we're looking for that club to sit in our fingers, and this meaty squishy part of our hand right here just sits nicely on top, okay? So this really gives us some good purchase, this really gives us a good hold of the club and allows us to have a better chance of squaring the face. Because you've got to think, why am I making this grip change? It's allowing you to have a better chance of getting that club face not pointing all the way over here. Sometimes you have a weak grip, that would be sort of somewhere in the palm or somewhere with no knuckles. This makes it very, very hard to square the face. So once we've got that club in the fingers, what this will look like now looking here is that you can see that this crease between my thumb and my first finger is now pointing into my right shoulder. Now, this is vitally key. If you are slicing the golf ball, make sure you do this with your grips. This is still point number 1. I want you to feel like you go into your back pocket. You're then going to go underneath, fingers on, and again, you can see now that my grip is in a great position now to give me more chance of releasing this face, squaring this face, having much more control. If we're in weak areas, this is more likely to happen. This is a disaster. That's point number 1. So now we have smashed point number 1 out the park. We've got a good grip. Let's talk about 2 and 3 together now on how we can keep control of this club face through the backswing, through the takeaway, and what are we looking for at the top of the backswing. Now, takeaway, we have to get these common things right. Can we feel, and this is so easy, we just have to make sure we're aware of what we want to do. if I said to you right now, if you start your swing, I don't want you to feel like you move your hands at all, just keep them the same distance from your sternum. So, or the same version of this, imagine there's a piece of string attaching your club head to your sternum, keep that the same distance apart. All you're doing is moving it like this. Now look what that does to our club head. Look what that does to how we control that club head through the takeaway. There is no manipulation going on through here, so therefore no compensations to have to take place. So through that takeaway, can we feel hands, sternum, club head stay the same distance apart, and we're looking for you not to manipulate that club head through the takeaway, just like this, okay? Because if we get that stage right, what this is going to allow you to do at the top of the backswing, achieve that nice flat lead wrist. Now, what are we looking for here? Club down. We're looking for you to have this nice and matching at the top as our point number 3. I don't see many of the top golfers in the world right now being in this situation. What we see is the likes of DJ, John Rahm, who are going the complete opposite. Now, I wouldn't condone that for your average golfer, but what I would say is you might have to feel that to achieve this, not this. So for point number 3, can you make some practice swings, bringing 1, 2 and 3 together? I'm trying to feel that we've got a nice flat lead wrist and really just making sure that we're getting a good turn to target. And on that note, all I would say is left shoulder to the ground and back to target. So all we're looking for is good grip, good takeaway, flat lead wrist, boom. So if we can achieve something like this, we are now on the road to stopping your slice. Yes, I said stopping your slice, guaranteed. Okay, so if we're doing it at this stage, what ball flight should we probably predict that's going to happen right now? Because what have we done through that backswing? Better grip, better takeaway, better position at the top, all things that are stopping that face opening in the backswing. So let's just put a little bit of context on this. We used to swing out to in with an open face, causing our ball to move in this direction, okay? Now, what we're trying to do is stop that face being as open, but what we're not looking at right now is how we work on your club path. So we should expect some pull shots, okay? Now, I want you to think of this as a good intermediate goal, because you've gone from coming across it, big curves, to actually now, hopefully, hitting it just that little bit further, and I promise you, you will enjoy hitting that pull shot. Let's move on to points 4 and 5 because they're all to do with the downswing. What are we looking for to get swinging into out? Here we go. So in this next part of the video, and points 4 and 5, I think these are the most important points once you've got the first few right, because these are the bits where we actually start to see some massive differences in ball flight. So we need to control right now our club path and where our club face is pointing. So remember I said this, grabbing our golf ball, we had our line on our ball, right? Slicers was moving this way. What we want to learn is how we get our ball moving this way. So we need into out path now. We've already got our club face under more control, but we need to improve that further. So this is how. So with it being a slicer, you have never really got that feeling of releasing the club. So what I want you to think about here is points 4 and 5. They're sort of attached. I see this a lot of common slicers moving this way in their downswing. Now what I want you to get the feeling of, this is your move in transition. Notice I've got an alignment stick here just as a great visual aid, and if you're at the driving range yourself, just pop it in a basket. Something easy, something simple for you to try. So we would swing over this, but we don't want to return over this. What we want to do is return under it. So I want you to get the feeling as point number 4, starting our downswing with this move, okay? Look how my shoulders are pointing way more out to the right. Now if I pause my shoulders here, I want you to get the feeling of just releasing the hands round. So what is this doing? Well, this is doing a few things. by not getting the shoulders and the lower half and upper half to move out, you're not throwing that club out. To get that feeling of working like this, you're allowing your club to drop into the slot and then have a chance of learning how to release it. So for this time, I always say this to slicers, you have never released the club, so we need to get you feeling like you're doing more than that. You're over releasing it, okay? Because that's how you find that middle ground. You've never done it before because you've worked like this, okay? So it's vitally important we get in our head what we're trying to feel. It's over the alignment stick, under the alignment stick, release round. You can really see this is really encouraging this club to drop. Keep your shoulders pointing to the right of target. Release that club and let it gather your body round. There is no look of this over and from the top. And you can see it from the face-on perspective. I'm really getting that club to load and release. Now, as we're going through that release, what it will feel like is this. Like you're throwing a frisbee with your backhand. Look what that does to my club face. It really gets it releasing and pointing a little bit further left. So if you stand here, hook the first few, do not worry, because that's the opposite to what you have been doing. So point number 4, can we get a feeling of just standing here, getting the aspect of starting here. Number 5, releasing. So really giving ourselves a chance of actually boxing ourselves off to the right of target to be able to release it, rather than throwing everything out and only throwing our arms to the left of target. You see how this really makes sense? Get the feeling. Up, start, release round, collect the body. That is the opposite to what you have ever been doing. So to hit some shots away, you could leave the alignment stick there. I would keep it there, but move it a little bit further back. And just trust yourself to be able to stand there and feel as though it's here, here, and here. And for your first one, just do a mini version. Look at that ball flight. Mini version of the complete opposite. So let's look at the journey of what we've gone through. We've gone from over the top, open face, to now really having the aspect of a good grip, good takeaway, solid at the top, starting it, releasing it. And that release will look very much like our club is doing more of this and less of this. This is really, really going to help you improve your golf, because it's a move which is powerful, it's dynamic, and it's something that all golfers can definitely bring into their game. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really know this is going to help you to stop slicing the golf ball. 5 simple steps all the way from grip, top of the backswing, into downswing and release. Give them a go, and I'd love for you to report back on how you get on this, and hopefully we hear you're never slicing it again.